Are you here to debate?
Yes, I am.
All right. What's your name, age, and pronouns, please?
Valiant Stance is Rob C. My age is 51, and I don't use your pronoun nonsense.
I'm sorry. Say that last sentence one more time.
I don't use pronouns.
Oh, I is a pronoun.
All right.
Just so you know. So for the future, you can avoid. Wait,
is what you're against?
Real quick. For the
you're
future,
for trans men and women, or men and women.
Yes,
minors deserve gender-affirming health care.
Yes, minors
teach comprehensive sex and sexuality from K through 12.
Yes, we should do that.
Abortion all 9 months.
100%.
Abolish police and prisons.
Absolutely.
Trump is terrible.
For sure.
And capitalism is bad. How old are you? 7 years old?
Yep, 7.5 actually.
Okay, well that explains it right there. Because if you think that getting rid of all police and all prisons is going to help the crime to cease, then you must be on some sort of drugs.
Police and prisons don't show a net decrease in crime to begin with. Fun fact.
Well, they got to be reported, first of all. But there's not a day that goes by where you can't read articles and see videos of crime happening. So there's crime going on.
Which means police don't stop crime.
And where do you think those criminals are supposed to be sent to?
Police don't...
Camp?
Wait. So you agree police don't stop crime because crime is happening and we have tons of police?
They mitigate crime.
No, they don't.
If they didn't mitigate crime, you would just see crime 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We do see crime 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So then how are we supposed to curb that if you get rid of cops in prisons?
By addressing the social and systemic issues that lead to crime.
Oh, so because people are poor that are committing crimes, is that your stance?
The crimes that people are in prison for are bred from poverty,
what?
Yes. The crimes that people are currently in prison for are bred from poverty, yes.
So all poor people are criminals, in your opinion?
Nope. You want to try that again?
Ever do crimes?
The crimes that people are overwhelmingly in prison for are crimes bred from poverty.
Like what?
Well, so property crimes are poverty.
So when you see like a group of 50 people storm a 7-Eleven, that stems from poverty? Or does it stem from those people knowing that cops aren't going to come down and arrest them, so they're just going to do anything the hell they want?
Why are they storming the 7-Eleven?
Because they're criminals.
You know, when criminals commit crimes, they tend to have a reason. I don't know if you're aware of this. It's called motive. It's called motive, which would be the reason for someone committing the crime. What is the motive? The motive
is that they live in a place where, like California, where they passed a bill where if you steal anything under $950, it's considered now a misdemeanor. So why would they fear?
They're going into the 7-Eleven to steal. They're storming the 7-Eleven to steal things.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people steal things?
And not one or two people.
Why do people
steal
things?
We see videos, groups of people.
Why do people steal things?
Because they feel like it.
No, come on.
They're all storming there to feed their families, right? They're all storming the 7-Eleven so they can feed their poor, dying children, right?
Well, I think typically people steal things because
the garbage laws that are on the books, right?
I think people steal because they're impoverished and they want money.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, do you meet many people that steal things that don't want money for the things they steal?
So the people that are filming the thievery on their iPhones and whatnot, those are the same poor people that are robbing these 7-Elevens? Those people?
How much do you think an iPhone costs? When's the last time you bought a phone?
Since you say capitalism is bad, they're probably free, right?
No, most are going to cost you, but how much do you think they cost? Wait, how does me saying capitalism's bad make iPhones free? That doesn't make any sense.
iPhones cost money. In order to buy an iPhone, you have to have the money to buy an iPhone.
Yeah, how much?
If you have the money to buy an iPhone, you wouldn't need to rob a 7-Eleven. If you rob a 7-Eleven because you're poor, then you wouldn't have an iPhone. That's what I'm talking about.
How much do you think iPhones cost?
Let's say $500.
Okay, you know that you don't pay that all up front, right?
How much do you pay? I have
an iPhone right here. I have an iPhone right here. Ask me how much I pay a month for it.
How much you pay a month for it?
$10 because I got it.
$10. $10 could have bought you the bag of Doritos that you and your idiot friends stormed the 7-Eleven.
You know what? You're so right. You're so right. If only these poor people had an extra $10 a month. If only poor people just had that extra $10 a month, then they'd be out of the poorhouse. They'd be in a mansion. You're so correct. Wow. Genius.
Ain't nobody said mansion.
Truly, just
but they wouldn't be on video.
That extra $10
store, robbing it.
I think what's even funnier is you think that the people that are recording the video are the people that are robbing.
They can afford whatever they're stealing at 7-Eleven.
Do you think the people filming the video are no? Do you think the people filming the video are the people that are robbing the store?
Yes.
No.
They're putting it online.
No.
We're gonna eat today. We're gonna eat today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
They're not documenting their crimes and putting their crimes on YouTube for you to find.
That's what they do.
It's not actually.
They want the social media. All right. They're all innocent. Nobody does anything wrong. It's all the guns.
Did I say that?
Well, since you're 7.5, maybe you don't really have the intellect.
I'm actually 8. My birthday was just like 5 minutes ago.
So you identify as 8?
No, I'm just 8. I've only been around the Earth 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Or been around the sun 8 times.
So let's talk about so once again, okay, if there is no let's take your argument about how poor people steal because they're poor. So that gives them a green light.
No, that's not my argument. My argument is that my argument. Real quick. Let me just lay out the actual argument for you.
Let me lay out the actual.
Hold on. Let me lay out the argument for you.
How about people that shoot other people? Don't they deserve to go to prison?
Violent crime also has a link. Violent crime also has a link to poverty.
That beats their children, should they not go to prison?
They should be rehabilitated. Yes.
How are they going to get rehabilitated?
Cognitive behavioral therapy, empathy training,
a
whole list of.
And where would that training be going on?
Mental health facilities.
Mental health facilities that you could just go in and out from. Outpatient care is going to help a parent not beat their children to death.
Considering we have had people who've gone to anger management and they no longer have violent tendencies because they're able to effectively manage their anger. Yeah. I don't know if you know this. Anger management's been around for a long time. They made a movie about it once.
So has prisons.
And what have prisons accomplished? Are you telling
me that there aren't people, there isn't anybody that deserves to go to prison in your eyes? There isn't anybody that deserves it?
My answer is that prisons are an entirely net negative thing.
Is there anybody that deserves to go to prison? Anybody?
Yes, there's one person. There's one person that does, yes.
If there were no prisons, where would they go then?
Okay,
Therapy?
So let me change it. Abolish police and prisons except for this one person that deserves it. He can still have a prison.
One person, huh? In this whole country, there's only one person that...
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just one.
That sounds like a very silly, ignorant argument. That sounds like an argument coming from somebody who lives in an area where there is absolutely no crime. It sounds like a very privileged outlook.
Yeah, I've definitely never seen crime before. You're right. Never. Me and crime never happened.
Okay.
That makes total sense.
Then where do the criminals go? They just keep on doing crime? Or do they go to prison? Do they get punished? So your answer is rehabilitate. Not even a
Yes.
fine?
No, I don't believe in
So no
fines.
fine. You just sit them in a chair and you'd be like, we understand that you're angry and that you killed your entire family, but we're not even gonna fine you or give you probation. We're just gonna listen to you. That's gonna work there, Jovan. You child.
Oh, I'm not a child anymore. I'm actually 18.
Oh, so now you identify as 18.
Nope. My birthday was
You're
like 5 minutes ago. I'm 18 now.
Your age binary?
No. It's just that my birthday was 5 minutes ago. Now I'm 18.
Age has no number?
No, age definitely has a number. And I'm 18.
Oh. 5 seconds ago, you were 7.5, then you went to 8, then you went to 18.
That's not true. I've always been 18.
That's absolutely, that's how you
No, you're just misremembering.
introduce yourself.
You're just misremembering. It's always been 18.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Well, you're talking to, so, okay. Let's see what else you got on here that's stupid.
Sure.
Trans men and women are men and women. That's
100%.
your first line.
100%.
Are you serious?
Yep. 100%.
And what are you, Jovan?
What am I?
That was the question.
An enigma.
See, when you have a chat and all of these people are in here going, you go, Jovan, they're all agreeing with you because they are
First of all, half the people
also
in my
mental
YouTube chat
morons.
I don't know what you're talking about. Half the people in my YouTube chat hate me. Actively hate me. Actively discourage what I do. Yeah,
as well half. They should, because you're an idiot.
Oh, am I?
If a trans man is a man, why would you need to call that person a trans man then?
Because adjectives exist. Sometimes there are words. Wait, really quickly.
Why would you need to put trans men and women are men and women, not using adjectives for the men and women part?
I'm going to answer you. Sometimes there are words that we use to describe other words. Specifically nouns. We have words that are used to describe nouns. So when I have like a noun like woman, right? There are a ton of different types of women. Some women are tall. Tall is an adjective. Some women are large. Large is an adjective. Some women are trans. Trans is an adjective. Does that mean that these people aren't women? No, it just means they're a different type of women.
Well, trans and large are two very different things. You're not giving hormone blockers to large women, especially when you promote giving those hormone blockers to children, most notably minors, and then saying that they have no physical altering of their system.
Really quickly, just because I might be confused, are there children that aren't minors? Which ones are those?
So you want to play semantics, or you want to?
I'm just wondering. You said children who are most notably minors. I just want to know if I'm confused.
Yeah, maybe there are children that aren't minors.
Oh.
An 18-year-old is still a child, but a 12-year-old is a minor.
Okay. I don't know that I would call an 18-year-old a child. I'd probably call them an adult, but okay.
What can they do as an adult at 18?
What can they do
they can sign up for the military, right?
They can buy a house. They can join the military.
They can definitely buy a house. They can get they can
I'd say that's
not
a pretty
rent a car. They cannot buy a pack of cigarettes. They cannot buy alcohol legally. So if you're not going to be able to justify an 18-year-old buying a pack of cigarettes, why would you justify altering their body?
I think we should probably let 18-year-olds buy cigarettes.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah, I don't see what
because you don't. Because you sound like you really don't care what happens to them, but you can't give it.
Oh,
a child, a young adult, let's say young adult, huh? How about
okay.
that?
A young adult, sure.
We can't give a child entering puberty blockers to stop the puberty and then expect when you take them off the puberty blockers for the puberty to just zip back into place like nothing happened. Are you
Oh, well,
kidding me?
hold on. When we give puberty blockers to kids with precocious puberty, what happens when they go off of them?
Oh, so they are helped, but what is the percentage of children with that?
Hold on. Answer my question. What happens when the kids who go on it for precocious puberty come off of it? What happens?
Oh,
They start puberty again.
okay.
So you know what happens to the trans kids that go on it?
So what if you didn't
They
have
come
the
off?
precocious
Same thing.
puberty?
Same
Then,
thing.
same
Do you know what
thing.
precocious
So
puberty
there's
is?
no
What is
such thing as
What is precocious
so
puberty?
there's no such thing as what you just mentioned.
Do you know
Because
what precocious puberty is?
say you had ADHD and you take medication for that ADHD,
Sure.
but this person over here doesn't have ADHD, and you give them the same medication, it's going to have a different effect on both those.
What do you think? I'm sorry. What do you think precocious puberty is, my friend? Like, what do you like precocious puberty? What do you think that is?
If there's no effect on the
I'm sorry, can you
precocious
please answer the
puberty,
question?
and somebody without precocious puberty,
I'm
if
sorry,
you
can you
give them
please
the
answer
same
the question?
medication
Can you
and
please
nothing
answer the
happens,
question?
then there's no such thing as precocious puberty.
You definitely don't know what precocious puberty is.
Well, then why name it? Why give it a
What?
name if the
Why do we give
medication you
things
give
names?
to if the medication you give to help that puberty works the same way on somebody who doesn't have precocious puberty, there is no such thing as precocious puberty
What
if
is
the effects
precocious
are going to be
puberty?
the
What
same.
is precocious
Do
puberty?
you
You don't know what
understand
it
what I'm
is.
saying?
You don't know what precocious puberty is.
Have you heard what I said?
Yes, that's why I know you don't know what precocious puberty is. Because of the word you're
There's
saying.
no such thing. If you're again, if you give the medication to somebody with the precocious puberty and that medication to someone without it, and the effects are exactly the same, then there's no such thing as precocious puberty. Because
What is precocious puberty? What is precocious puberty?
There
What
has
is
to be a
precocious
difference in
puberty?
effect of the medication.
What
And if
is
the
precocious
effects are the
puberty?
same thing, then you can't separate the ailment.
What is precocious puberty?
I don't. You tell
There
me
you
what
go.
it is.
There you go. You don't know. It just means they start puberty early. That's it.
Okay.
So when a person
Okay.
starts puberty early, a puberty
So
blocker
then why
will do.
stop
Hold
it?
on. We're gonna walk through. We're gonna walk. Well, because it could be dangerous based on how early it starts. A 5-year-old
Oh
probably
my
shouldn't go
gosh.
through puberty.
They
They're
can get
5.
facial hair too early. We need to stop all that.
Do you think puberty is just facial hair?
That's an aspect of it.
Sure, but is that all
Does the
puberty is?
Does the medication only pinpoint certain things, or does it go after everything?
My friend, what is puberty?
My friend, what is puberty?
Yes.
We're talking about drugs that you are advocating giving
I need to know that
kids
you. I need to
because
know
of
that you
some-
know what puberty is, my
because
friend.
of
I need to
some-
know.
some
I need
idiotic
to know. I need to
definition
know
and
that you
word
know what
games
puberty is.
because you want to promote harming kids,
I need to
and the promotion of
know.
harming kids makes you
You
look
don't know.
some
You don't
some
know what
kind of
puberty is. You went through
highfalutin
it.
figure
Didn't you go
to
through
all
it?
of your little trans
Didn't
and
you go through
gay
puberty?
and I hate the police and I hate America and I
You don't
hate
know what it is.
Trump.
This is
can't
nuts.
can't give me a reason why I hate America,
Who said I hate
but
America?
I do. But I'm still living here, by the way. Go
Who said
figure.
Who said I hate America?
Capitalism is bad, but in order
Yeah.
to pay your rent, you have to have a job to pay the rent, and the only
Jobs aren't
places
capitalism.
that have jobs so that you can earn
Jobs
money
aren't
is
capitalism.
capitalism.
Jobs
But
aren't
that's
capitalism.
bad. Everything on
There are
your
jobs
body,
under
everything
communism. That's
around
crazy.
you,
Uh-huh.
sitting in the space you are in, is because
Buying
of
stuff isn't inherently
capitalism.
capitalism either.
It
We
is
had
because
capitalism
of
before.
every item that you say that you that you possess is because of capitalism, and capitalism is so bad. Well then donate all of your possessions. Give them away. Capitalism got them for you, and capitalism is bad. You don't need all that capitalism stuff roaming around the phone that you are on right now.
Something? Can I confirm something
capitalism.
with you? Can I confirm something 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 with you?
Go ahead.
I just want to ask you a question. How do conversations work?
One person says something, somebody responds.
Oh, okay. So how can we have a conversation if you don't let me respond?
I'm done.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because you were talking for like 10 minutes. I didn't know if you wanted
10 minutes. It was actually like 1 minute. But for somebody that
have you heard of hyperbole before?
That says they're 7.5, then 5 seconds later says they're 18. I guess it could turn into 10 minutes in your worldview. Go ahead, Jovan.
Oh, okay.
Let me hear your knowledge.
Great.
Dazzle me, Jovan.
Phenomenal. So I'll just lay out some truths and maybe you'll understand. So puberty, because you didn't know what puberty was. Puberty is when your body starts.
Let's go to capitalism and your hatred for having things.
Capitalism is not just owning stuff. That's not what capitalism is, but okay. That's not what capitalism is. Capitalism isn't defined by when people own things. Capitalism is the privatization of the means of production. But, I'm sure you've read a ton of Marx. I'm sure you've read some Marx. I'm sure you've read all of Marx and Engels. I'm sure you've read Das Kapital. I'm sure you've read The Critique of the Gotha Program.
Not a word.
Communist Manifesto.
Not a word.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured.
Not a word because I was too busy working, earning money
that
to help raise my family.
Definitely paid
through
off.
Capitalism.
Oh boy, did that pay off. When you're on the phone, you should probably turn the YouTube off, right?
I should, but I'm not gonna.
Okay. Do you want to define capitalism?
Yeah, let me do it though.
Oh, okay, great.
Because you're right, it is annoying. It is annoying, and you are more than enough annoying for both of us.
Aw. That's so sad. I thought we were friends.
Nah, we will never be friends.
No?
Your ilk can never be friends with a normal person.
Oh, what makes you normal?
Not being like you. Not being like you and having these idiotic policies that you list. That you just list, by the way, just to get a rise out of people.
I list them to get a rise out of people.
You can't believe everything that you wrote here.
Could it be possible? Could there be a world where I've studied these things very extensively and that's why they're up here?
No, not at 18 you didn't.
Oh, I'm not 18, I'm 75.
Oh, now you're 75. You see how you are?
You missed my birthday?
Identifying to whatever the hell you want to.
Cake would be great.
Identify as.
I don't identify as an age. I just am an age, by the way. I don't identify as an age. I just am that age. But it's fine. You didn't know what puberty was. I don't think you know what identity is either. Can you define capitalism for me, though, if that's what you want to talk about?
You mean like the Webster's dictionary of it? No.
Any definition.
Capitalism, here's my definition
for
capitalism. Okay? And if I'm wrong, I don't think I am. A person has an idea, right? And they want to start a business. And they start that business, they have to acquire capital in order to get that business going and thriving. And in order to get that business going and thriving, they need a whole bunch of things. They need equipment, they need licenses, they need permits, they need workers. Then they get the workers, and then they get the product going, and they get the product out, sold, makes a profit, able to pay the people making that product. But the people making the product are like, hey, we should get the same amount of money that the CEO does. But the CEO actually went out and bought all the equipment. They got all the permits. They got all the licenses. They took all the risk, and all you did was come in with your labor and help make the product. Now, granted,
Just came in with the label.
you deserve a salary for that, but not as much as the person taking all the risk, because if that company goes belly up, the person who's working the job isn't going to help pay for all the penalties that that business owner has. Capitalism has provided us everything we possess. Everything. And to say capitalism is bad must mean that you think all your possessions are bad. If you think that, you should just give away all of your possessions. I'm done. Go ahead, Jovan.
Sure. Let's see where to begin. One, capitalism is not just owning things, like I said before. Capitalism is the privatization over the means of production. Two, when it comes to communism,
Now, what does that mean?
Oh, okay. Sure.
What is your definition of that, Mr. Definition?
My definition of the privatization of the means of production?
Yep.
It
That's
means
what I
not
asked you.
allowing individuals or businesses to own the things that we need to make goods or services. Those should be collectively owned by everybody.
Why should it be owned by everybody if not everybody took the risk?
I don't think anyone needs to take a risk.
Well, then how are businesses ever started then if somebody doesn't take a risk?
We just start them.
Oh, we just start them?
Yes. First of all, I don't think we need any businesses.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Why do we need
We
a
just
business?
start them.
Yeah.
Let's just start this warehouse. Let's just start it.
Yes.
You sound like somebody who has never worked.
Definitely never worked before.
It's obvious.
100%.
You probably rely on government handouts that the workers have to pay taxes into, so you can sit there with your capitalism is bad, chatting into your phone that was made from capitalism, so you can complain like a little wuss.
I definitely require government handouts. Can you do me a favor? Can you say fairly odd parents? Fairly godparents. Can you say fairy godparents?
Fairly godparent?
Close enough.
Fairy godparent?
Yeah. That's it. That's all I wanted.
The fairy
shout out
godparent?
to real quick. Hold on. I gotta do my housekeeping. Shout out to Isaac for the Venmo. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you,
Isaac for the Venmo. Hell yeah.
Thank you, Warrior Princess for the Venmo. Thank you,
Warrior
Tim.
Princess. Bam.
Tim, I don't know how you want me to achieve that, Tim. I don't think that's very
another
possible. Donation.
Babs,
thank you for the Venmo. Babs said, tell Bullwinkle, you're Bullwinkle, by the way. Babs said, tell Bullwinkle to open his ears and listen. He won't. Cole,
he won't, because he identifies as too much of a man.
Cole, I got you just a little bit more time.
He won't listen to my socialistic, communist.
Are you upset when people pay me to talk to other people? Does that upset you?
No, man, I'm helping you give a shout out. I'm right there with you. Thank you for the Venmos, people. Thanks.
Does it upset you that I get tips for my work?
Jovan appreciates your hard work, giving him money to spew his crap. Thank you. Thank you, Warrior Princess. Your $3 Venmo is going to help him buy something that capitalism made for him.
Can you say Rooney in a really loud, angry voice?
Rooney?
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe Ronnie. Try Ronnie. It might be Ronnie. Because somebody asked
Ronnie?
Somebody asked you to say Ronnie in a really loud, angry voice.
Yeah, no.
No? Why not?
Because I don't feel like it.
You don't like when Daddy tells you what to do?
I'm not going to dance just because you want me to dance.
Oh, you're not going to dance
Jovan.
Just because we... Oh, okay. Diane, thank you for the tip.
Dude is on the right is very NPC. Boot him, Spidey, bro. Yeah, boot him. Boot him. He's having an opinion that we don't agree with. Get him out of here. We don't want to hear it. Your chat sucks. All of you, all these people that are inside the vegan Wahida dance for Mr. Definitions. You can...
Do you not like using definitions for words?
You can go drink some sour milk.
Do you not like using definitions for words? Is that a bad thing that we have words have definitions?
Nah, except you can't come up with an intelligent argument, so you're going to go with the whole, well, how is that defined?
My friend, you didn't know what puberty was.
I never said that. I
You
just
didn't
said I
have to.
didn't know what
You
definition
showed. Wait, you
it
didn't have
was,
to say it. You
because
showed
whatever
through
definition
your.
I give, you're going to be like, well, actually,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Real quick,
So,
you didn't have to tell us. You showed us that you didn't know what puberty was.
how far does the receding hairline go back? On me, it goes all the way. I'm bald. I'm just
I can tell
responding
from the way you
to
sound.
one of your people.
Man, my people really got to you, didn't they?
No,
You know, we
that's
can
just
have
funny.
a legitimate conversation. You know, have you? Wait, let me ask you a question.
Daisy like
Is
Whoop
there
donated
any-
$5. Tell Grandpa to take a
Is
nap.
there? Take a nap first of all. But is there any? At all?
You're
Is
taking
there
a nap? Is
anything-
that what
no,
you just
no,
said?
you should take a nap. But is there anything?
I should take a
Is
nap?
there anything that I can say? Is there anything that I can say that would make you rethink your positions in any way, shape, or form?
When you start speaking intelligently, then sure. But seeing as that in the span of 5 minutes, you went from age 7.5 to 75, I don't even think you know what age is. So how am I supposed to understand what you say that you understand if you have no idea even how old you are?
Yeah, age would be a representation of the amount of times that you've gone around the sun.
Mm-hmm. So you've gone around the sun 75 times?
No, I've gone around the sun 31 times.
31? Oh, it's 31 now?
Yeah. Do you want to have a legitimate conversation? I'm more than happy to.
Where do you live, Jovan? What state?
State of depression.
Okay. See, yeah. That wasn't a harmful question I asked. I live in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Where do you live? What state do you live?
Florida.
Florida. Lucky you. Very red Florida. Lucky you. Congratulations. It's what, about 135 degrees?
Sometimes, maybe. Who knows?
There right now.
What does this
That's
have to
the
do
only
with any
part
of
of
the
Florida
topics?
that sucks sometimes, you know. But you got beaches like all around you. There's no beaches here in Oklahoma. So
What does this have to do
anyway,
with the topics?
so let's have a conversation.
Sure. Can you finally tell me what
Ask me
puberty
a
is?
question. What's the definition of good conversation, by the way, Jovan?
Usually when people converse and talk to each other in a respectful manner and answer each other's questions. That's usually
Okay.
what I'd say is a good conversation. Can you tell me, though, what puberty is?
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry for cursing. First of
Daisy
all,
like Whoop donated
this is your live
$5.
stream. Sorry about
Tell
that.
Grandpa iPad time is over.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or not, but I accidentally threw an F-bomb. Sorry about that. Anyway, so puberty.
Yes.
I don't know
what is
the
puberty?
textbook definition, but if I was to try to explain it, puberty is when you're grown up and your body changes. Girls start to develop, breasts and hair down there, and boys, their voices get deeper, their balls drop, they get hair in places, and that all, that all grows as we grow.
Sure.
That's my definition. It's not very technical, but that's my definition.
I think that's a fine definition. What causes it to happen?
That's how God made us.
Okay, let me rephrase
Let me
the
guess,
question.
you don't believe in God either.
Let me rephrase the question. What happens in our body that causes us to go through the process of puberty?
Golden Game Eagle donated $10. Get help caller.
I don't know.
Okay. So I'll give you the answer. So what happens is your body begins to start producing more of a specific hormone, And this hormone causes your body to go through puberty. For men, it's typically testosterone. You see an increase in testosterone. In women or females, in males, testosterone, in females, it's going to be estrogen, right? The increase of these hormones is what causes you to go through puberty. So when I take a puberty blocker, what is a puberty blocker doing?
A puberty blocker, as far as what you just defined, is going to block the enhancement of what the body does during puberty. And it's going to be beneficial to those who are experiencing puberty at an earlier age than what is generally thought
Transcol
of
donated $3.
as normal.
Tell him to say you is stinky.
Okay. So,
right?
We're almost there. So yes, the puberty blocker blocks or suppresses those hormones from producing an excess amount. So your body does not go through puberty. You actually did pretty well on that answer. So when we give this to people with precocious puberty, all it does is it prohibits those hormones from growing. Or I'm sorry, it inhibits those hormones from being overproduced so that they don't go through puberty. When we give it to someone for gender affirming care, it does the exact same thing. It inhibits those. So when you go through puberty, it inhibits those hormones from overproducing so that you don't go through the puberty. So when you go off of pubertal suppressants, both during precocious puberty and gender affirming care, what happens is basically the floodgates open and your body re-engages with puberty. It's the exact same thing.
If you are going through puberty that is not precocious, why give them medication?
The reason why we give trans kids pubertal suppressants
because
when you're... I'm answering the question.
No.
Answering your question.
There's no such thing as trans kids. There's trans indoctrination. Kids don't know that they're trans. They're like 7 or 8.
Can I ask you a question? Do kids
know
if they're gay? Do kids know if they're gay?
They barely know what pots and pans are yet.
You think kids
and they're going to know that they're a man or a woman at 6 or 7 years old?
Well, they wouldn't be men and women. They would be boys and girls.
Males and females. All right? I mean, Jesus.
Wait,
if everything I say, you're going to come back and be like, well, actually, no. If who is going through the puberty does not have what you define as precocious puberty, if they are not going through precocious puberty, which by your definition is something that shouldn't be happening because you've given a name to it, if they're just going through regular puberty, why give them medication to alter it?
Okay. So allow me to answer this. Sometimes there are children. Sometimes there are children. Well, actually, sometimes there are children whose gender identity does not align with the sex that they are observed at birth. So these things...
Who tells them that?
They would tell themselves that.
They would tell themselves that?
Uh-huh.
At how old? How old do you think that a boy or a girl would be able to tell themselves what gender they are? At
Children
what
are
age
able
do you think
to
that
children
starts?
are able to identify their own gender between 3 and 4.
3 and 4. So kids who still think they're Santa Claus are all of a sudden going to be like, you know, Ma, I've been thinking. In between my morning coffee and reading the paper here at 3 years old, I have decided that I'm really a woman because I've spent 3 years since birth thinking about it. And the mother's just supposed to be like, oh, okay, hey, no problem. Let's go to the doctor and fix this right up. If that same kid was like, hey, Ma, I think I'm a pigeon, you think that the mother would take the kid there to a vet and have feathers attached to him?
No, because that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Can I tell you what happened?
It's not what happened?
I'm more than happy to.
But
I'm more than happy to tell you what happened.
Please do, Jovan.
Great.
Please do.
So as I was saying before,
You're
sometimes there are children. Sometimes
3 years,
it's okay.
3 years
okay.
old, and they're sitting there with the pots and the pans. Hey, I'm a woman. Yeah, okay.
Pots
Santa
and
Claus is
pans?
real, but I'm a woman.
Uh-huh. So do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So sometimes you have children who experience an incongruence.
Who you don't abort.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Those children who are fortunate enough to actually see the world.
Just a quick question. Just a
If
quick question.
If their mother wasn't too busy searching Netflix so that they can actually love something else.
Just the quickest of questions. When do you think we typically learn the ability to not interrupt other people when they talk?
Thank you, Boo.
Like, what age do you think that happens?
Probably before you can realize what gender you are.
Okay, so but it didn't happen with you. You weren't able to learn that skill, or like, did you just
maybe I missed out on the attitude altering medication.
You need medication in order to not interrupt. Oh, you got ADHD. Okay, fair enough. I understand it. I have plenty of.
I actually do.
Okay, totally understand it. So what we're gonna try
here is what I try with. So understanding.
What we're gonna try is what I used to try with kids when I worked in education, and they also had ADHD. So
you worked in education?
What we're gonna do is every time you want to speak, count mentally to 10, and if I am still talking, count to 10 again. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So again, sometimes
I counted
there are
to 10.
Okay, well there we go.
Is it your speed to 10?
All right, everybody say W Cole. I got bored. Hello, are you here to debate?
Yes, I am.
All right, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
My name is Rob. My age is 7.5. No, it's 75. No, it's 31.
Rob? What do you want,
it's 25.
What do you want, Rob? We're doing this again, for real?
Actually, since it was... No. I promise to be respectful. I won't curse. I won't do any of that stupid stuff I did yesterday. Except I was listening in, and the last guy, he mentioned the water conservation. And that's what I kind of wanted to talk about, because there's been such an emphasis on all this gas and oil stuff, and yet zero on water conservation. And water, in my opinion, is more important to this planet than oil and gas. There's nothing being said about it.
What do you mean there's nothing being said about water conservation?
Well, we see golf courses getting watered all the time. Water that could go toward people drinking it. Water being used in movies and TV shows. That water can be used toward people, using it for survival. But it's almost like water is like this never-ending supply, and it's not. And all the just oil people that block the highways and throw soup on the Mona Lisa, they don't mention anything about water conservation.
Now hold on a second. You're for the conservation of water. You're for like access to clean drinking water and things like that.
Absolutely. But when the water runs out, we are no more.
But you're also voting Republican.
And that's just a fact.
You're also voting Republican, correct?
Republican? Nah. MAGA? Yes.
Okay. How come the GOP overturned water protection back in March of last year? They voted overwhelmingly to overturn clean water protection.
Did they?
Yes. March of 2023.
Was there an executive order done by the president that blocked that?
No, they've just been consistently removing.
So Democrats let it happen too. So let's not just pinpoint what the GOP does. Let's look at what everybody does.
Wait, the Democrats put the protections into place.
Then why didn't they keep them in place?
Because the bill was overturned by a majority Republican House.
Would there have been an executive order possible to put it back into place?
No, that's not how executive orders work.
Oh, it's not how executive orders work? Day one, Joe Biden came into office. He
You can sign.
Hold on.
Rob, you can sign an executive order, but without the House approving the money for that order, you can't do anything with it. You can say I'm signing an executive order for the government to conserve water, but if the House doesn't approve the money, where do you get the money from to run that executive order?
So then the House approved when Joe Biden said no more stay in Mexico policy? They actually didn't want that?
Wait, you don't need money to do the stay in Mexico policy. What? But if we want to talk about border bills, the Democrats it was actually written by a Republican. They put out a border bill 5 days after Title 43 ended. After like 4 or 5 days after.
Republicans put forth a Save the Border Act back in May of 2023 that is still sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk, not even looked at. The reason why their border bill was turned down is because they also included inside that same bill funding for Ukraine. That's why it was turned down. So then the Democrats can come back and say,
that bill was written by Republicans. The bill you're talking about with money for Ukraine was written by a Republican. Mitch McConnell wanted Republicans to pass that bill, but Trump told them not to.
Of course, because it included money going to Ukraine.
No, his specific reasoning. Bill. No, his specific reasoning.
And that's why Mitch McConnell
absolutely
got ousted.
Absolutely not. Well, Mitch McConnell got ousted. Mitch McConnell's like fucking ancient. He shouldn't be anywhere. But the reason why Trump gave for denying that
they're
bill,
all young people.
The reason why Trump said for denying that border bill was not because of the money for Ukraine, right? It was because he didn't want Democrats to get a win. He said this to Ted Cruz, that Democrats can't get a win on the border. The only person that can have a win on a border is me. They're going to pass the exact same bill as soon as he gets into office. He said, don't pass it now. When he gets into office, then they can pass the bill.
Well, then why didn't they rewrite the bill in order for it to pass?
Because Republicans want the money for Ukraine.
They took away the border part and just did the Ukraine support, and that passed. So it was never about the border. They just wanted to have some BS bill so that they could send billions more to Ukraine.
Trump said it's about the border. Trump said he doesn't want Democrats getting a win on the border because it will make it so that he doesn't have something he can run his campaign on. If the border is secure. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He said it to Ted Cruz.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
The GOP put forth a Save the Border Act that hadn't even been looked at.
Also in that Fox News town hall, Trump...
Money going to Ukraine, it never even got looked at. That's still open. They never wanted to close the border. Neither party did. Because they're all a bunch of...
Wait, first of all, we shouldn't close the border, first and foremost.
Why shouldn't we close the border?
Because it will hurt the country. It'll hurt our economy.
How will it hurt the country?
Immigrants are part of what fuels our economy. Second of all, closing the border won't stop the amount of... Hold on. Closing the border won't stop the amount of undocumented immigrants that we have, because the overwhelming majority, I think it's like 60 or 70% of undocumented immigrants in the country are here on overstayed visas. They're not here on border crossings. They were let in legally.
70%? No.
Yes. You want to bet?
That's impossible. Not when you see... What do you want to bet? I'll bet you your glowy pair of cat ear headphones.
You'll bet my glowy pair of cat ear headphones?
Yeah, because you're such a man.
Oh, does that make me not a man? So wait, just confirming. Just confirming. If I prove this, I want $100. And if I'm wrong, I'll give you $100. Do we have a deal?
Mm-hmm. Where are you going to get your $100 from?
I have $100 sitting in my bank account right now.
Do
we have a deal? Yes or no?
Anyway, listen.
Do we have a deal? Yes or no? Why not?
Because I'm not in a position right now to go look up research and stuff and
I'll
send
look
you
it up
articles
right
and
now.
videos.
I'll look it up right now. I'll pull up
But
a study right now.
you're gonna put up Fox. You're gonna pull up CNN. You're gonna pull up New York Times.
I
all
would
these
pull up,
liberal
I would pull up
stations
studies.
that will
I would pull up. No, I would
secure
pull up
your argument.
No, I would pull up like reports from like immigration organizations and like the U.S.'s own immigration reports and things like that. That's what I would pull up.
Let's get back to the water, though.
Wait, no. You said you were fine with the bet, but as soon as I put money on the bet, you back out of the bet.
I don't want to put up $100.
Okay, 50.
I
I'll
got a
double the
family to
payout on the
support.
bet
How
if
about 50?
Jovan is
I
wrong.
mean, if I lose,
so that's
I
$200
can't
bucks
afford
for
to
you, Rob,
lose
if you win.
How about
$25?
How about no? How about this for a bet? How about this for a bet? If I lose, the next time I call in, I will respect your pronoun policy and give you my pronouns.
How about if I
How about
prove it
that?
to you? How about if I prove it to you right now? You have to tell me your pronouns right now.
All right, prove it to me.
Great.
How are you going to prove it to me? I'll just say you're wrong.
Wait, super simple. Per the U.S.'s own reports, this is a report specifically done by the Center for Migration Studies. 62% of all illegal immigrants are here on visa overstays, while 38% of illegal immigrants come from border crossings.
What year?
Every year. This has been every year since 2000.
Every single year?
Yes, every year since let me see what year the takeover started. Every year since 2013. The numbers have been the same. So
you're going to bring up stats from 11 years ago?
No. It has been this way. There has been more.
2013 not 11 years
No.
from
I'm
today?
not saying that the numbers from 2013. I'm saying that every single year.
11 times around the sun, Jovan?
Okay. Do you not understand what every year since means? When I say every year since, I mean every single year this has been the case. Since 2013 when it shifted.
Give me the year-by-year stats.
Sure. Let me see if I can pull up a graph with the year-by-year.
And give it to me from a source that doesn't contribute to the Democrat Party.
This source doesn't contribute to the Democrat Party.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't.
It doesn't. What do you mean?
What do I mean? What's the definition of it?
No, when I'm giving you from a source that's not from the Democrat. Can you just admit you're wrong, please? And this is so crazy.
No,
you can't just admit you're wrong.
60%. So watching all those videos of all those people coming through the gates and the fences.
Yes, more people stay via visa overstays. More people are staying via visa overstays. It's not.
It's probably like 5%.
60% of our undocumented population is from visa overstays.
It's most they identify as 10%.
I guess it's just easier to live in denial, I guess. It's easier than just admitting you're wrong.
Even if let's say you're right. Let's just say you're right. All right. You're right, Jovan. You are right. There's still a problem. And it's weighing on our resources because you have these cities just handing the money hand over fist. California just passed a bill that's going to give $150,000 to illegal aliens here to buy homes. You know, Oregon just did a $20,000 where American citizens aren't even eligible for illegal immigrants. You know, undocumented means illegal, by the way, Mr. Definition. Undocumented means illegal. And they're giving this money to illegal dreamers. So how is that benefiting our economy if we're just giving them money hand over fist?
Wait. Do you think we shouldn't allow wait. Do you think we shouldn't allow DACA recipients to become citizens?
Yeah, but not after 5 minutes of getting here.
It's not
They gotta
after
go
5
through a
minutes of getting
process.
here. What are you talking about?
That job that you said that you worked in the education system, you had to fill out an application. You had to go through a drug screen, background screen. There's a process of getting that job.
Wait,
And
again,
these people are coming
hold
through,
on, hold
no
on. No, you're
process,
wrong.
no
You're just
process.
wrong. You're just wrong. The majority of them are here on visa overstays, which means they were vetted because we gave them visas. They were vetted. They were fully vetted to come into the country.
You gave them visas. You did give them visas, but you gave them out like they were Pez dispensers. Here you go, here you go, here you go.
You don't know how the
That's why
process
you have-
works, bro. You just straight up
That's
don't
why
know
you
how
have-
it works.
That's why you have massive gang situations like what's going on in Colorado right now, taking over apartment complexes because people weren't getting properly vetted, just letting any old, you know. There was an article that came out. There's like 200 people, names off the most highly touted terrorists came into the country. So don't tell me that they were all just, innocent DACA visas. Nah, it just came in wearing the Biden-Harris T-shirt. Biden let me in. You know? Yeah, I mean,
You're just saying. You're
you
just
can
saying
sit there
things
in
at
your
this point.
in your little room there with your headphones and be like, they deserve to be here, but they don't.
Yeah, you're just saying things at this point. Like I don't like nothing you say has any backing. Nothing you say has any like
To you,
no to
it doesn't have
reality.
any backing to you because you don't want
No, it doesn't have any backing to reality.
your reality because you
No,
just don't want to see
all
it.
reality.
Because you don't want
All
to
reality
say
is the
anything
same.
wrong to have your followers be like, oh my God, he hates, mine. No.
No, it's
There's a
all
problem
reality.
in this country.
It's all reality.
Except I did originally call in because of the water conservation problem.
Yes, but you want to vote in people that deny water conservation.
There shouldn't have to be a bill in place for people to realize that they have to conserve water.
What? How else do we get? Wait, I'm sorry. How else do we get businesses like Nestle to stop overtaking water, or businesses to stop pumping pollutants into water if we don't pass a law that says you can't do it?
It doesn't have to just be businesses. It can be private citizens.
There should also be laws that
just
say
because you
private
want to have a
citizens
nice
can't
green
do it.
lawn
What?
doesn't mean that somebody has to go thirsty because of it.
Wait, private citizens should also not be able to do it.
Right. That's what I just said. But they do. But they do. And more so than oil and gas.
Jovan
All right.
One. What are this person's pronouns already?
I'm moving on. I can't keep doing this, bro. I keep getting fucking banned on TikTok, dude. What the fuck? It's doing nothing today. At least my video that they took down is back up. Y'all, who wants to I'm sorry, but who wants to donate to the tip jar for me having to deal with fucking Rob again? I can't, dude. I can't. My guy does not live in reality. I'm like, here's the direct organization that studies the numbers, and he's like, nah, that's not true. Like, there's no reason to talk to you then. If you don't believe basic facts and statistics, there's no reason to speak to you. Like, just straight up, there's no reason to talk to you. Hello, are you here to debate?
I sure am.
Oh, God, what do you want, Rob?
Hey, first of all, good to see you back and healthy. Huh? Good times.
All right.
Good times. Here you are, debating. Huh? Good spirits. I wish nothing but good health for you. But the Kamala ate Trump part, absolutely. What? What?
Yeah, Trump didn't
She
answer a
beat
single
Trump
question.
with the help of two moderators who had her back the entire time, jumping in Trump's,
Because Trump
words
talking,
every chance they got.
No, they didn't.
Never gave any
They
fact check to her.
Because she
Never
didn't say
once.
anything. She didn't say anything outwardly unfactual that they could easily prove without a deeper fact check.
Absolutely did.
Okay,
Absolutely did.
What specifically did Kamala
Would you like an
Harris
example?
100%.
Okay, so when she brought up Charlottesville for the 9 millionth time, Snopes actually came out and said, no, that is not what Trump meant when he said good people on both sides. Snopes came out with that article even before the Trump-Biden debate. And then she brought it up again, and there was no fact check on the moderator's part with her. But when Trump said that he was being sarcastic when he said that he really, lost the election, he said he was being sarcastic. The moderators were like, well, I didn't detect any sarcasm, you weren't being sarcastic.
I'm sorry.
Hold
the phone. Let's go through a few of these because this is amazing. I love this. So first of all, when Kamala Harris made the Charlottesville claim, right? Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm pulling that one specifically up. So I'm pulling up her specific claim of Charlottesville. She said, "This is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there were a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side." Now, the president did, in fact, say there were fine people on each side. She did not mention specifically talking about the Proud Boys or white supremacists in that sentence.
He absolutely did.
Nope. In the next sentence, he brings up the Proud Boys, but that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about simply the fine people on both sides claim. All she said was that there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, which there were, and they were spewing anti-Semitic hate, which they were. She didn't make a claim what these mobs of people were, and then the president said there were fine people on each side, which he did, in fact, say. Now, if you want to say he didn't say that there were fine people. He said that in
context of everything else he said. Just like with the Proud Boys comment, she said that based on context of everything else he said. You can't take one snippet of sentence and take away all the other context. Just like you can't do that with Trump.
So again, he referred to specifically the protesters. The protesters, this is per your Snopes fact check, Trump did say there were very fine people on both sides, referring to the protesters and the counter-protesters. The people carrying the tiki torches, were they the protesters, yes or no?
There were some of the protesters, yeah.
Okay, so great. So when
which he said, I'm not talking. He said it clear as day. He said, I'm not talking about the white supremacists or the neo-Nazis. He said that. And that's the point that everybody never brings up. They never bring up the fact that he said that part. They only want to focus on the fine people on both sides.
Again, all she mentioned was the people there that were a litany of people carrying torches and spewing anti-Semitic hate, which were the people who were protesting.
You know what she meant.
It was the people who were protesting.
You know what she meant.
It was the people who were protesting. So what's the next thing she said that you think was wrong?
When she said that Trump wanted to do a across-the-board federal abortion ban, Trump himself, right before she said that, he said he supports the restrictions on abortion when it comes to incest and sexual assault. The word that he used, I'm not sure if I'm allowed. I say it live on your stream. I don't want to get you in trouble.
You say whatever
but
you want,
he
Rob.
said he supported those restrictions. Right? And when she brought up the fact that he wanted to do a federal ban across the board, there was no fact check. There was nothing that
They asked Donald Trump point blank. They asked Donald Trump point blank, would you veto a national abortion ban? Now, for me, if I don't support a national abortion ban and I'm asked, would you veto one? I'm going to say yes. Trump didn't answer that question. Why did
and when he asked her if she would support abortion in the 7th, 8th, and 9th month,
no.
there was never any follow-up from the moderators.
She said no.
They let that comment hang.
She had already said
because they knew that she would have said yes.
She already said she wanted to go back to Roe v. Wade, which was the clarification here. She had said she wanted to go back to Roe v. Wade, which means she wants abortions up until about 24 weeks. That's what Roe v. Wade said.
So you want Trump to be specific on every little thing.
She was specific.
And it's okay if Kamala's not specific on every little thing.
She said
you
she
can't
wanted
have
to go
it
back
both ways.
She said she wanted to go back to Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade was a specific set of rules. So saying she wants to go back to Roe v. Wade means she wants a specific set of rules. However, when he was asked point blank, would you veto a national abortion ban? He did not answer that question.
He did answer the question. He said there wouldn't have to be one because it would never pass.
Wait. Except we know that people like Mitch McConnell have and what's his name, Lindsey Graham, have said that they are going to push for a national abortion ban. So he has no control whether Congress approves this or not. If enough members of Congress and the Senate get voted in GOP who want a national abortion ban and they pass one through, he doesn't control whether that gets passed through. All he can control is whether or not he does or does not veto it. He did not answer that question, even though multiple House Republicans have stated a support for a federal abortion ban. Except he refuses to answer whether or not he would put one through. Why does he refuse to answer that question?
He answered the question.
He did not.
You just don't like his answer.
He did not.
And you, again,
Rob,
he answered the question, and you said that he had all these outside things going, but when it comes to Kamala...
Lindsey Davis, would you veto a national abortion ban if it came to it? Donald Trump, well, I won't have to because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote. He's not answering, especially now with a 50-50.
That's an answer.
50-50. That's not an answer. Him saying I won't have to is not telling whether he will or will not. Let me
expect Trump to say yes or no on things, and Kamala never says yes or no on anything, and and that's okay with you.
I expect Trump to answer the question. Yeah. Now, if somebody were to say to me, "Hey, Jovan, would you ever kill a vampire?" Now, obviously, I won't ever have to do this because vampires aren't real. But if this is the beauty of a hypothetical, if vampires showed up, then I would say yes. I would kill a vampire. But vampires aren't real. But if they showed up, yes. Now, he could have said, I don't believe a national abortion ban will ever go through, but if it does, I would veto it. Super easy way he could have answered that question, but he didn't.
So you expect specific answers from one side, but you don't expect specific answers from the other side. How is that fair?
I expect specific answers from both sides, and I've criticized Kamala Harris where I deem that she did not push through specific answers. But I believe she pushed through more specific answers than he did. He didn't answer a single question. He didn't answer any. He literally said, I have a concept of a plan. He didn't answer a single question, Rob. She didn't answer every question, but she answered more than one.
She didn't answer any questions.
Yes, she did. Give me a question she didn't answer.
When she was asked, what will you do to help the middle class or to alleviate the economy, she went into this rambling, I was raised in a middle-class household, and
her first question was an answer.
She went on and on. Never really answered that question.
Her first question was an answer to that. She said that she would she would reinstate the child tax credit up to $6,000. She would make a first-time home buyer's loan of $25,000, and that she would do a tax credit for brand new small businesses of $50,000. That's a direct answer.
She never specified how she would do that. She just brought up these ideas.
It's not about the specification because she has specified in other places.
Oh, right? Now it's not about specification, but you want specification when it comes.
I didn't
to
say I
Trump.
want specification when I come to Trump. I want Trump to say anything. He didn't say anything. She was specific about the specific policy she wants to implement. He didn't give a single policy position. Not one. He didn't give a single policy position, Rob. She at least did.
That child tax credit, that came from Trump, by the way.
The child tax credit was pushed back in fucking 2008. What are you talking about? Trump didn't create the child tax credit, Rob.
Donald Trump came out.
I'm sorry, 2008 is even too far. The child tax credit is 1997. Trump had nothing to do with creating the child tax credit. What are you talking about?
Neither did she then.
Yes, but Republicans let it lapse.
Yes.
So she is saying that she would put it through.
It's always yes, but with you people.
Yes, because Republicans let the child tax credit lapse. We had the child tax credit,
Trump
and they took it away.
That idea, and he said 5,000. She came out 2 days later. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. 6,000.
So
but Donald Trump came out with that first.
Republicans, hold on. So Republicans have been blocking the child tax credit since Trump was in office. They've been blocking the expansion of it. They've have been trying to let it lapse. Like House Republicans have been doing this. Okay? Republicans, not the Democrats. The Republicans have voted against the expansion of the child tax credit. Okay? So she's saying, I would put through the expansion of the child tax credit. She'd probably do it through what the fuck is it? An executive order. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He can make the same claims that he's going to do it, but he didn't say it that night. Didn't make the claims that night. Didn't talk about the child tax credit that night. Where's Trump's talk about it? She talked about it.
I will give you this. Trump did not do a very good job at that debate. He didn't do a good job. You know, he always has a tendency to ramble on, but the points that he did bring up during that debate, and he kept hammering the immigration issue.
That he fucked
all
up.
night he was. And she was never asked about that. Did you not see the part? She was never asked about that.
She was asked multiple questions about immigration, first and foremost. She was. And I do think that...
And what was her answers?
I'm going to answer that. I do think that some of her answers on immigration weren't the strongest. But she correctly brought up the fact that the Democrats proposed a bill to help with the border back in 2023. When Title 42 lapsed, 5 days later, they had a bill. I'm sorry, I said the Democrats proposed it. That's wrong. The bill was written by Trump Republicans, was written by Trump's people. But Trump told them, do not pass the bill because it will only help the Democrats in office if we fix the border before I come in. They asked Trump about this at the debate. They said, why did you do this? He refused to answer the question. He doesn't give a shit about the border. He is using it to play you and every conservative that he actually cares. If he cares, when the bill came through that offered more money for border control, more money for security, more money for judges to get through asylum-seeking cases, when a bill that his people wrote came through to do all of
what
this,
else was
he
in
told
that
them
bill?
to block it. I don't care what else was in the
What
bill
else was
when
in
his
that
people
bill?
wrote it. He wants to pass the bill. He just doesn't want to pass the bill
What
now.
else was in that bill?
There was tons of stuff in the bill. But he wants the rest of the stuff that's in the bill.
So it wasn't a border bill.
It was still a border
that
security bill.
quote-unquote border bill
It was still a border security bill.
Also earmarked money to go overseas. So it wasn't just a border bill. But Republicans did have a Save the Border Act that came out in May of 2023 that Democrats have never looked at once.
This is not true.
They came out with a Save the Border Act, and they never looked at it. Because it's not about the border. They wanted to pass that border bill so that they could send money to Ukraine, and that's why.
You just straight up don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. That's why, like 3 days after the border bill was rejected, they came out with a separate, let's send this money to Ukraine package. Because that package for Ukraine was in that border bill, and that's why he wanted the border bill not to pass, because it wasn't just about the border. It also had to do with sending money overseas to Ukraine. That's why. That's why he said, "Do not pass it."
So again, so two things here first. Two things first.
Am I right about that or wrong?
No, you're wrong. The Secure the Border Act, the Secure the Border Act of 2023, right?
Save the Border Act.
It's called the Secure the Border Act. It's HR 2. Okay, was put through by Mario Diaz-Balart of Florida, a Republican president. It passed the House. It passed through the House. So where's the blocking if it passed?
It didn't pass the Senate.
It hasn't been brought to the Senate yet. It hasn't even been brought to the Senate.
Exactly. It hasn't been brought to the Senate because they don't want it to pass. They want that border. It's been sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk this whole time. Hasn't passed the Senate because they won't even look at it. And you know why they won't look at it? Because they don't care about securing the border.
So the reason why it hasn't passed the Senate is because Trump has been blocking these things. His own people have admitted
How
to
has
this.
Trump been blocking these things when he's not even in office?
Ted Cruz admitted to Trump because he calls them and tells them not to put through this legislation. That's how. Because they're afraid of him. They're afraid. They're spineless people. He got spineless people put into places of power, and they're afraid to stand up to him. He's got his little peons running around the Congress and the House. But again, when asked about this at the debate, he didn't say anything. He didn't deny it. Fully didn't deny it. I wonder why he didn't deny it, Rob.
Because Trump wants the borders wide open. Is that your
Yes,
thought?
Trump.
Kamala wants those borders open so bad. He could just see all those voters just streaming into the country. Look at it. Look at this voter and this voter and this voter and this voter. Yeah.
Trump wants, he wants the border to be unstable, so that way he can run on re-election on stabilizing the border. Yes.
He wants it unstable.
Yes.
So then why didn't Biden and Borders Harris do something about the border before this year?
They did when they
up until 4 or 5 months ago.
You mean when there was a border bill that the Democrats were on board with, written by Republicans 5 days after Title 42 lapsed, when they were trying to stabilize the border a year ago after Title 42 lapsed?
Everything that Governor Abbott down in Texas has been trying to do to secure the border, Biden
you mean like putting barbed wire in barbed wire in the water?
Hey, if it works, it works. If it keeps people out, it keeps people out.
What was it that Jesus said about immigrants? What was it he said? Thou shalt put barbed wire in the water and maim and harm people just seeking a better life. I think that's what Jesus said. That was.
I think that was commandment number 12.
Isn't that the verse in the Bible?
Maybe
thou shalt harm. You're not Christian though, so it doesn't matter.
You bring up Jesus at a time when there was like 80,000 people on Earth.
Does it matter how many people are there?
And you're gonna bring up Jesus, Mr. Christian over there?
I was a stranger and you invited me in. I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me.
Oh my God!
But no, you're right. You're right. Jesus absolutely would support the Republican Party for sure.
He wouldn't support the Democrats. That's for damn sure.
Really, the foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Interesting. Why would he say that?
We can agree that you know how to read. We can agree that you know how to read. Sitting there,
know how the party of Jesus Christ can reconcile with the fact that Jesus wants the foreigners raised among
Donald Trump did not get eaten by Kamala.
I'm just wondering.
He didn't have a win. but Kamala didn't have a win either.
I disagree.
She didn't show any dominance.
She definitely had a win.
That might have been a push at best. But to say that Kamala ate up Trump, that's just a title that you put on your thing to make people call in like me and be like, you're wrong about that. But Kamala didn't eat up.
I mean, yes, I want people like you to call in and tell me that I'm wrong, because I can easily fact check you and prove you wrong. It's great.
You haven't proven me wrong anything. All you've proven to me is that you can spin things to how you want to have one side be specific, but it's okay if the other side isn't. No problem. And you yourself said
Kamala Harris gave specifics. She didn't answer every question specifically, but she gave specifics. When asked about her plan for the economy, she listed policy positions that she wanted to implement to help. When asked about his plan for healthcare, what did Trump say? What did he say? He said, I have the concepts of a plan. I don't have a plan. I got the concepts. You'll hear about it soon. Remember, he promised us healthcare policies 8 years ago. He said, my first year in office, I'll get you healthcare. I will repeal and replace Obamacare. First year in office. Never happened. Has never showed us any semblance of repealing or replacement. When asked about healthcare, Kamala Harris said, well, we've done things. We capped insulin at $36 a month. That's a good thing. Right? That's a thing that she actively claims that she did do. When asked about healthcare, Trump said, I have concepts of a plan. But yeah, of course, she definitely didn't answer any questions. You're right.
She's out there with her stupid little smirks, with her stupid little, facial expressions. She never got any pushback from either of those moderators, one of which turns out to be a sorority sister of hers. So, of course, she's not going to, stop Kamala
Trump was handed softball questions that he couldn't answer. This pushback,
that debate was a 3-on-1 against Trump. That's why Kamala wants a rematch. Because,
I'm sorry, Rob.
Because she ate him up, right?
I'm sorry. Trump asked for a rematch the day after he handed Biden his ass in the last
debate.
He
didn't?
Yes,
no, he did not.
Yes,
Kamala asked for one.
Trump
and he said, no. He said in a prize fight, the loser always asks for a rematch. He said that. Did he not say that?
Trump asked Biden for a second debate after their first one. After their first debate this year, Trump asked Biden for a second debate. That's why the Fox debate, that's why the second ABC debate even got, or not ABC, NBC, that's why the second debate even got scheduled, because Trump asked for a second debate. Why? Because he wanted to make Biden look stupid again.
He asked for it on Fox so there would be some semblance of fairness. He went on to ABC and got 3-on-1.
Every question asked towards Trump
and
was a
she
softball.
Asked for the rematch, not him.
Every single question that Trump got handed last during the debate was a softball that he could have easily wiped the floor. I'm sorry, Kamala Harris is sitting there like he won't veto an abortion ban. He won't veto an abortion ban. If he had just said, I'd absolutely veto any abortion ban that comes across my desk. Now she looks dumb. But he didn't do that. You know why? Because he doesn't actually want to veto an abortion ban. Why would somebody that wants abortions and he's like, I don't care. I'll like my abortion stance is do whatever. Why would somebody who thinks that put 3 people into office into judgeships who wanted to overturn Roe v. Wade? He doesn't give a shit about sending it to the states. If it was only about the states, he also wouldn't have reenacted the Mexico City policy. But he did. He doesn't give a fuck about the states, Rob. He doesn't give a fuck about the states. Rob, if you can't handle somebody talking a little bit louder to you, I don't know what to tell you. Like, be an adult. I don't know what to tell you. Who gives a fuck if I'm talking loud? Like, grow up.
If I raised my voice, you'd say the same thing, wouldn't you?
You raised your voice last time, and all I did was laugh. What are you talking about? Both times you've talked to me, you've raised your voice, and all I've done is laugh. I don't give a shit if you yell, Rob. Yell. Scream. Go tell it to the mountain. I don't care.
Donald Trump certainly was not as precise as he could have been, as he should have been. I will agree to that wholeheartedly. But the fact that he got constant pushback by the moderators and Kamala didn't get any kind of pushback or follow-up questions. by the way, at all, the entire night. And then afterwards, Kamala, who never got her "excuse me, I'm talking" moment that Trump took from her, she wants a rematch.
She didn't
And
need an
Donald Trump
excuse me, I'm
said,
talking moment
losers,
because the mics
losers
were
in a
muted.
prize fight don't get rematch.
Again,
No.
he asked Biden for a rematch after his first debate with Biden this year, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Okay, yeah.
So again,
Zero
Again.
pushback. Zero follow-up questions. And Trump got attacked all night
Trump
by
got
two moderators.
softballed. Every question asked to Trump was a softball question. Every single one. He also overtalked the moderators constantly. He would just start talking after Kamala was done, even though they had a question to let him go. He would just go. He didn't care.
They allowed him to...
Hmm?
He responded.
Yeah, but half the time
Yeah,
the questions asked weren't about responses. All he cared about was to talk about his response to her. He didn't care to answer any of the questions that were proposed. Didn't happen.
The line Trump said at the very end, his closing line, if all these things are things that Kamala wanted to do, why didn't she do them? That entire debate, that point was not answered.
Because
that point was not
vice president
answered at all.
Because the vice president has almost zero power to run the U.S. government, and it's crazy to me. It's crazy. The only
but she has some.
Do you know why? Yes, that sum is the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. That's the sum.
Which she used.
Yes, but you can't tie break a vote to push through policy. That's not how that works, Rob.
Does Kamala have more power
just real
in
quick,
office than Donald Trump?
Did all conservatives just fuck when Donald Trump was president? No, he had a supermajority. He had way more power than she did. What are you talking about? If Trump was going to do all this shit, why didn't he do it his first 4 years? He had way more power.
Opposition.
He had more. No, he didn't. He had a supermajority. He had a supermajority. He controlled the House and the Senate and still couldn't get shit passed. He couldn't bring his own party together to pass shit when he had a supermajority because his own party recognized his policies were dumb as fuck. Again, I don't know why conservatives all of a sudden think the vice president has unilateral power to do anything. They mostly don't. Most of what the vice president does is residing over the Senate, doing a tiebreaker, and then certifying the vote during election period. That's kind of it. That's kind of most all they do. The vice president is largely a position that is there just to be there in case the president is out of commission, then they have to take over.
Kamala is going against everything that has been going on during her administration that Biden put in place, and through that whole time she never raised any kind of voice about her opposition. Now that Joe Biden is on a beach someplace, all of a sudden she's against all of his policies and wants to go against
I'm sorry,
it.
what Joe Biden policy is she
during
going
the time
against?
which she is still vice president, by the way. She never opened her mouth about, I disagree with this, I disagree with that. She went along with it because she agreed with it. And all of a sudden, because
Biden
she wants to...
has she said she disagrees with?
She never came out in opposition to anything Biden wanted to do. Nothing.
She still
and all
hasn't.
of a sudden she is now, because Biden is
What
nothing.
has she come in opposition for? What has she opposed about Biden? You haven't said that. You're saying right now that she's coming out saying that she's opposed to Biden for doing stuff, but you're not telling me what the things that she opposed Biden doing is doing. So what are the things that she's opposed?
All of a sudden she's for fracking?
So is Biden. Biden is also for fracking. He's put through more leases for fracking and oil drilling than Trump did. In the first 2 years of his presidency, he put through more drilling leases than Trump did.
Did Biden come out and say that he will stop fracking?
No.
He went up to a girl, shook her hand, and said, I give you my word as a Biden, I will stop the use of fossil fuels in this country. Huh? He has been against fracking this whole time because of this EV push. because of this EV push that she still wants to push, despite her.
Oh, he hung up. Maybe his phone died. Biden has not come out against fracking. Rob. Never happened. Fucking shit, bro. Fucking shit, dude. Let me just go through all the thank yous to everybody. Thank you, Goose. Goose said for Kamala Harris. That's so funny. Courtesy of Kamala Harris. Goose, that's so funny. Thank you, Kayla. I'm sorry you have to talk to him again. Thank you, Kayla, a second time. And thank you, Jay. Prize fighters absolutely do rematches. Frazier gave Ali a rematch. Ali gave Frazier 2 rematches. Bro, Rob is some kind of something, bro.
And you as well.
Hello, are you here to debate?
I sure am.
Oh, god damn it. What do you want, Rob?
I want to debate with you. How have you been? First of all, how have you been?
I've been chilling.
Nice. That's cool. So your topic is, would you vote for Donald Trump? Absolutely. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yes, I know, because you do not engage in critical thinking skills, Rob.
There's going to be a lot of people who are going to vote for Trump based on recency bias. All right? Just look at what's going on down with the catastrophe going on with Hurricane Helene. Now, even if you were on the fence, seeing how the Biden-Harris administration is handling that is going to sour people on Kamala, right? And they're going to look at Trump, who went down there, got Starlink hooked up for people, and going to see that as like, this guy actually cares. Where they're going to see Kamala there, be like, yeah, here's $750. Here you go. Take it easy.
Rob, do you understand why? Do you understand what the $750 was?
Yes, it was not enough for people.
Okay. So
That's what it was.
Let me explain how federal funding for disasters work. So FEMA is only authorized I think it's $725 or $750 is only authorized to give a $700 plus payment to every person until Congress approves more funds, which Congress did literally today. I think it was today or yesterday. FEMA is only authorized by Congress to give a specific amount. And then Congress comes in and gives more, which I think Congress granted, I think was $90 billion for hurricane aid. Also, all of the governors, including the red governors in the states impacted by the hurricane, have all said that they've spoken with Biden, and Biden has offered them whatever it is they need. So I don't know what the issue is here.
The issue is when you see people who are suffering during the hurricane, seeing Trump come down first with truckloads of goods, and they see Kamala coming down a few days later when she had a few minutes to spare, telling people, well, look online, and if you can, authenticate your address,
Rob,
we'll take care of you.
This is just not true, my guy. None of this is accurate.
Kamala Harris didn't go down there a couple days after Donald Trump, and she didn't tell people that if they want to access these funds to go online.
How else are they going to apply for the funds, Rob?
How are they going to go online if thousands of people don't have power?
So first of all, they can go. First of all, they don't have to just apply online, so they can go and apply like in person at their like state, at their city offices. Second of all, Kamala Harris was also down there handing out food and shit. But like, I don't care about a photo op, right? I don't care what the president. I could care less if the president or vice president goes to a disaster area after the disaster. That means nothing to me.
You
what
should.
I care about, no, I don't.
That tells me that they at least care.
No, what tells me if they care is what they do and what they provide to FEMA to help the people that are down there. And Biden and Harris have provided FEMA with as much as they legally can without Congress approving more funds.
After backlash,
Backlash
because
they did
FEMA has all
immediately.
this money for
They did
migrants.
this immediately. They did this
and-
immediately. This happened immediately. FEMA started providing hurricane aid immediately. What are you talking about?
The issue is Donald Trump went down there. He has no connection there to FEMA. He went down there on his time, and he bought goods on his time. He provided the citizens with Starlink.
Yeah, for a photo op, dude. He did it for a photo op.
But did they still get that Starlink?
Tell me how
did
come,
they
how
still
come the
get
last...
the services?
Wait, explain to me then why when Donald Trump was in office and a hurricane hit the same area, he only gave Roy Kemp, I think it was Roy Kemp, the governor, not Roy Kemp, what's his name? What's the name of the governor in Brian Kemp? Was it Brian Kemp?
Okay, yeah.
How come he only gave him 1% of what he asked for during the hurricane in 2017, 2018? Why did Trump only authorize 1% of what he asked for? If Trump is so good for helping these disasters, giving somebody 1%.
If you were one of the hurricane victims looking at your house that just got destroyed, to whip out their phone and be like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me see what Donald Trump gave Brian Kemp
please answer
5 years ago.
Please answer my question. Was it Governor Cooper, by the way, guys? Was it Cooper who I'm thinking about? Please answer the question, right? If Trump is so good about helping, right? All you care about is who you see him helping on camera. I care about like what he actually did for the people. So like what he did was not provide as much aid as Biden and Harris have so far provided through FEMA and through the federal government. And if you really care, you should have a problem with the fact that Republicans, literally all of them vote, not all of them, but they were the only people voting no to expand FEMA's disaster relief fund. This was a little bit before the hurricane even hit, and the House and Senate were like, okay, we need to approve a bit more for FEMA, and Republicans voted no. They were the only no votes came from Republicans.
Was there anything else in those bills?
No, it was just FEMA relief funds.
Just like the whole bipartisan border bill?
Rob, if you want to move to the border bill, we can, but all the things that you claim Republicans didn't want in the border bill, they voted for separately outside of the border bill months later when they approved $93 billion in aid that was voted on, yes, by every single Republican when they approved that aid for Israel and Palestine, and I'm sorry, Israel and Ukraine. So they really, like, I don't know why you keep not looking at the fact that the GOP, especially Trump, they don't care about you. They don't care about lower and middle class America. They don't care about the average person. All they care about is lining their own pockets. I don't know why you can't see this.
Because I'm just not looking at it from a person that's not affected from Hurricane Helene. If I was down there and I was suffering the way these people are suffering, I'm not going to worry about what Donald Trump did 5-6 years ago. I'm going to worry about what's going on. How am I being helped today? And today, I'm not being helped by the government that wants my vote. I'm going to look to the man who came down first, photo op or not. He came down first with goods. And if I was suffering during the hurricane, that would affect me way more than trying to figure out what Donald Trump did or didn't do 6 years ago.
Yeah, so then what you're claiming, Rob, is that you don't actually care about what people do in office. You just care about like them like you care about photo opportunities. You care about, oh, well, I don't care what their record is. I don't care if they voted for me or against me. All I care about is, did Donald Trump show up for a photo op and bring some stuff for people one time? If he did, great. He's got my vote. Doesn't matter what his record is. Doesn't matter if he's helped people in the past. Doesn't matter if he's grifted the Americans. Doesn't matter any of the stuff I have on screen. You know, Donald Trump ruining gas prices, ruining agriculture, refusing legislation. Like, none of that matters. All you care about is, did Donald Trump pose for a photo? And that's it, which is just kind of weird.
He posed for a photo, in your opinion, but as he quote unquote posed for a photo, he also bought assistance with him for the people. So you can click the cameras, but while the cameras are getting clicked, he's handing out things. He's supplying people with things.
Do you know why I know it was just a
right
photo
or
op?
wrong?
Do you know why I know it was just a photo op? Because he didn't do it last time while he was in office and had the ability to provide more aid. He didn't do it last time. That's how I know it's a photo op. He's only doing it now because he's up for president. That's it. Or he would have done it last time.
Did he help people? Did he help people during this photo op?
I think if your reason for helping people is for publicity, then it's not really helping them. It's
Did he help people during this photo op?
No, he exploited them.
Did he help people? Did he supply them with things that they needed during this photo op?
Yeah, he exploited them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you're not going to say yeah.
I just said yes. He supplied people with stuff, but he exploited them, which I think is worse. He exploited them.
But he still helped them. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, who has provided
the max amount of FEMA that she can provide under FEMA under Congress's FEMA thing, and then oversaw the Senate vote to provide more FEMA funds. I don't know what you're.
Okay, here's the difference. Kamala has all of these billionaires as friends of hers as well. They love to say that Donald Trump caters to them, but she does too. She's got people like Oprah Winfrey. She's got people like the Soroses. And not once have I seen any of her billionaire friends come down and help any of these people.
Is that a joke?
That is not a joke.
You've not seen Oprah Winfrey help people?
During Hurricane Helene? No, I have not. I know that she went to Maui with The Rock because she lives down there, and she set up some BS, hey, we're billionaires, but you can donate to this. She didn't go down to the people of Helene. So Donald Trump, for the evil Elon Musk is in people's eyes, he went down there and provided them with online access that they didn't have.
Bro, there's no way. There's no way. Yes, again, all you care about is the photo ops and the exploitation.
I care about people being helped, in which they were from Donald Trump.
They are more helped by FEMA, and they're going to be more helped by the funds that Congress put through, the funds that Republicans voted against.
You mean the same FEMA that gives out, millions and millions to migrants, and only has a check for $750? So you can give millions there to migrants, but by law,
Rob, we went over this already.
You're held back.
We went over this already, and I'm really I'm not in the mood to hear you try to gish gallop back to this when I've already went over this. The fact of the matter
Maybe you should take your tampon out.
The fact of the matter, I don't give a shit. The fact of the matter is that when it comes to FEMA funding for natural emergencies, they are only authorized to do $700 and whatever it is per person until Congress approves more, which they have already approved more. So FEMA has more funds and is currently in the process of giving more funds to people.
In the process.
Yeah, no
we'll
shit.
See how long it takes
Congress
them
just
to help
approved
people
the
out.
fucking funds literally yesterday, bro.
But
what do you think? Do you think
Zelensky can come to this country in one day and walk away with $8 billion? But
do you think Zelensky
people
got
here
that?
suffering?
Oh wait, I'm sorry, Rob. Do you think Zelensky got his $8 billion that day? Do you think Zelensky
No,
went home
he
with
sure
an $8
did.
billion
He
check?
sure did.
You don't know how anything works, Rob. You literally don't know how anything works. If you think Zelensky walked out of the fucking White House with an $8 billion check, what?
He absolutely
No,
did.
he did not.
Absolutely did.
No, he didn't. You don't know what you're talking about, and it's just embarrassing at this
And
point.
then your argument is, well, FEMA is handcuffed by laws. That Biden could change, by the way.
No,
Biden
he can't.
could say to FEMA,
No, he cannot. No, he can't. The president cannot authorize spending. Only Congress can. But if you want the president to be able to authorize spending, just tell me you don't want checks and balances in our government. You want the president to be a fucking dictator, bro. You think the president should be able to overpass Congress and handle spending. That's not how it works in our government. The president has no power when it comes to spending. Congress has all of the power here. You cannot executive order more money. That's not how that works.
mm-hmm.
Like you did, like,
Sure
do you
again.
need to go to civics class?
No.
Then you should know this, Rob.
you
Congress
go to
handles the
civics
money.
class?
Yes, that's how I know that Congress is the one that handles funding, and the president has no bearing on funding. The only thing the president can do is if
Jamie
Congress is
donated
not
$20.
if Congress is not
Please kick
funding,
Rob.
is they can fucking shut down the government for a little while if their base agrees. But Biden doesn't want to shut down the fucking government because he doesn't want to stall shit. Instead, he wants to work with, this is why Biden has been able to work with Congress in the Senate to pass spending bills, because he, unlike Trump, can actually get shit done, whereas Trump wasn't able to pass any spending bills. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Nada. Even though Trump had control of the House and Senate. He had a fucking supermajority. Couldn't get a single spending bill passed. You don't know what you're talking about, Rob. It's embarrassing at this point.
Hurricane Helene victims are being screwed over by Kamala Harris today. Nobody's
Holy
getting
shit. Everybody say W, Jamie. Jesus fuck, bro. How much to ban Rob permanently? I don't know, man. Feel like $10? No, just... What do you want? All right, thank you, Rob. Because it helps them and provides positive outcomes for their life. Because I think everybody deserves healthcare. Because they're human. Gender affirming care is healthcare. What do you...
who wants to change up, then why do they deserve to be able to do that? Why can't it be up to their parents?
What do you think healthcare is? Like, just in general.
Healthcare
Uh-huh.
is when you need something to make yourself better.
Okay. So gender affirming care makes them better. So gender affirming care
In
would be
whose
healthcare.
opinion?
They're doctors. The people whose opinions we would look to when it comes to healthcare. A doctor.
Then shouldn't the topic title be minors need gender affirming care?
Not all of them need it.
Then why do they deserve it?
Because
If they
every
need
person,
it, they need it.
Because every person
But why do they
deserves,
deserve it?
because every person deserves healthcare. I thought I was pretty straightforward on that.
So how would a 5 or 6 year old who's talking about I'm really this other gender, right? And their parents are saying no. Let's wait on it. Let's give it some time. Let me have you talk to somebody, which is also a form of health care, you know?
Rob, can you describe
Why
to me
would
the,
that
can you
kid
describe to me the
need
process?
to have?
Can you describe to me the process of receiving gender affirming care, specifically gender affirming medical care? Can you describe to me the process that someone must go through in order to receive this?
I'm sure that there's some kind of psychological analysis involved.
Okay, so you don't know the process that goes through with receiving gender affirming medical care. If you do not know the process, if you do not know the process that goes into receiving gender affirming medical care, how can you claim that the process needs to be different?
I'm not claiming that.
You are.
But you're claiming that they deserve gender affirming care.
No, you fully claim that the process needs to be different. You said, don't you think that there should be some X, Y, or Z thing that should be happening instead? This would denote that you believe that the process needs to be different in some way, but you don't know what the process is currently. So how can you know it needs to be different if you don't know what goes through the process now?
Because of the first word in your sentence there, minors. There should be a totally different aspect of healthcare for minors when dealing with minors.
You don't know what the aspect of the healthcare right now is. So how can you make that claim? You don't know what you don't know the criteria minors need to go through to get diagnosed with gender dysphoria. You don't know the standard of care that minors need to go through in order to receive gender affirming care. If you do not know these things, then you can't make a claim that the system is broken or is not working currently or needs to be different because you don't know what's currently happening.
Whatever I know or not, your claim is that minors deserve gender affirming care, and you are not answering why minors deserve it.
I answered it multiple times.
You're just asking me about processes and stuff.
I answered it multiple times. I said because all people deserve health care, and gender affirming care
all people are not minors, though. Minors are different.
Do you not
there
think
are certain things that all people can do that minors cannot do?
I'm sorry. Do you think minors don't deserve health care?
Cannot do.
Do you think minors don't deserve health care?
They deserve health care when they're sick, when they're hurt, yeah.
Okay, great. So they
do
deserve health care.
Even in that criteria, they still have to be consulted through the parents to get that health care.
So fun fact, in order to receive gender affirming care, minors must go through their parents. Fun fact.
Absolutely not.
Yes, they do.
Fun fact.
Yes,
there
they do.
There are transgender sanctuary states where a child can go and get the gender affirming care, and the parents are stopped.
No, doesn't
from
exist.
Trying to prevent it. That is absolutely fact.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it is not.
There are states: California, Connecticut, Colorado, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Washington, and Vermont. If your child feels that they are something else, they can go to these states and they can get taxpayer-funded, gender-affirming, quote-unquote, health care, and the parents cannot stop them.
Here we go. California. Children younger than 18 in California require parental consent to receive gender-affirming medical care. Wow, Rob, one Google search. That's crazy. One Google search. Proved you wrong. It is illegal in every state to provide medical care to a child without parental consent unless parents are deemed incapable of providing that consent and like the courts award the doctor's medical proxy. Otherwise, it's illegal. So you're wrong.
States that have declared themselves refugees for transgender people have essentially issued an invitation. Get your gender-affirming health care here without fearing prosecution at home.
Incorrect. You have sanctuary cities. You have sanctuary cities that will allow parents to go to, because there are states that do not allow parents to provide gender-affirming care to their children. So parents can take their children to these states to get gender-affirming care, but the children cannot go on their own, Rob. You are incorrect, and you really should admit right now that you are wrong. Otherwise, nobody is going to trust you on anything you say ever.
I'm not wrong.
You are.
I'm reading it.
You
I'm
are
reading
wrong,
it
Rob.
off to you. You
Rob,
can
you are
say
wrong.
I am all you want because that's your side that you got to stand in
No,
defense
Rob,
for.
you
Because,
are just wrong.
you know,
You are just wrong.
I'm reading it off the Associated Press website, not
You are
some,
wrong.
you know.
You are, Rob. I promise you, you are misreading it. I promise you that.
You still haven't said why they deserve it.
Because all people deserve medical care, Rob.
But if
I've
you
said it multiple times.
but
Multiple
gender being a social construct, that means it's mental. Just because you think a certain way doesn't mean you automatically have to go through with it.
All people deserve mental health care too, Rob. Every single person on the planet deserves these things. Yeah.
Person, yes, but we are categorizing specifically minors, and minors it is different. You
minors
people
deserve
over
mental health care as well, Rob.
over a certain age. A 14-year-old can't go buy a pack of cigarettes, huh? But
Cigarettes
a 25-year-old person
aren't health
can.
care, Rob.
There's difference between minors and everybody else.
Cigarettes aren't health care, Rob.
Healthcare is healthcare.
Cigarettes are
How
not
is
health
giving
care.
a kid hormone blockers going to make them healthier?
Is this a joke?
It's not healthcare.
Rob,
it's agenda.
Rob, in order to receive hormone blockers, in order to receive like pubertal suppressants, what must a minor do, right, in order to receive these things?
Just say they're one thing, and then boom, done.
Incorrect.
And then some wacko doctor is going to be like, "Oh, you got gender dysphoria.
Rob, this is why.
Give me all the drugs."
Rob, this is why I told you that when you don't know these things, it's ridiculous to debate them. No, a child cannot just go, "I feel this way, boom, here are the drugs." That's not how it works. We have literal standards of care and processes that doctors, therapists, counselors, endocrinologists, all these people must go through in order to not only A, diagnose this child with gender dysphoria, which the diagnosis is needed if you're going through insurance to receive any of these things, and then B, after the diagnosis, get them approved for the care. You don't know these things. You're mad at a boogeyman.
I'm not mad at a boogeyman, especially when we have cases where if a parent doesn't comply with a minor's wish to have gender affirming care, they can actually be taken from the parent.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Show me a single case of a parent losing custody of their child because they didn't allow their child to go through gender affirming care. Show me a single case. Show me one.
Okay. All right. And if I show you one, will you admit that I'm right?
Well, yeah, because unlike you, I can admit when I don't know something.
So there was a case in Montana where a single father lost custody of his son because the ex wanted to get the son transitioned, and the father said no. So that child was taken away.
And given to the child wasn't taken away. The child is with their birth mother. How is that taken away?
Because the custody was with the father. And the son was staying with the father and his new wife. His ex-wife, who wasn't in the household, it was the Kirsta and Todd Kolstad case. They lost custody of their child over desire to change genders. And the ex, who was away from the home, wanted to change the child's gender. The guardians where the child was staying with said no, and that child was removed. What part of healthcare does that fall into?
I mean, I'm showing here that the father of the child, the child was consistently having seizures, and the father was ignoring it. Kind of interesting fact to leave out there.
Where are you reading that?
I'm showing this on an NBC report.
I'm reading I think I'm reading that same report. NBC Montana.
So here we go. Montana Child and Family Services officials took custody of the 14-year-old from parents Krista and Todd this month. According to Redux, the teenager is reportedly a biological female and recently began to express suicidal thoughts. While being treated at a hospital in August, doctors began using the child's preferred
Who determined the suicidal thoughts, by the way?
It would be doctors.
Who determined the suicidal thoughts?
It would have been doctors.
Okay.